Cicero, Disputationes Tusculanae, Episode 8. Quae enim tanta gravitas, quae tanta constantia, magnitudo animi, probitas fides, quae tam excellens in omni genere virtus in ullis fuit, ut sit cum maioribus nostris comparanda? As Cicero continues his essay, we have here enim. Now, enim is post-positive. It means for or because. To say that it is post-positive means that it cannot be the first word in its clause. It has to come after the first word. In that way, it is very similar to Greek gar. It's similar in meaning to nam, another Latin conjunction, but nam is not post-positive like enim. So what is the context for enim? Well, we would have to look at the previous episode to get the context. So now we're going to give a translation, rough and ready, of this lovely sentence and then analyze it. For enim, what personal dignity, gravitas, or influence, fuit, was so great, tanta? What reliability was so outstanding? What greatness of mind, or loftiness of mind? What honesty? What oath-keeping? Quae virtus fuit? What virtue was there so outstanding in every category, in any persons in ullis, such that it should be compared, sit comparanda, or it should be likened to that which existed with our ancestors, cum maioribus nostris. Now, how does the grammar work? Well, the main verb, as I have already indicated, is fuit, and it has multiple subjects in the nominative: gravitas, constantia, magnitudo, probitas, fides, and virtus. So it has 6 subjects. Every one of these is feminine, but they don't all belong to the same declension. We have gravitas. They're all feminine singular and nominative, I should say, but they belong to different declensions. So gravitas is third declension, gravitas, gravitatis. Constantia is first, magnitudo is third. Then we have probitas, third declension. We have fides, fifth declension, and virtus back to third declension. So other than ABA right here, third, first, third, and ABA here, third, fifth, third, I don't perceive any particular pattern that Cicero is developing. What about the pattern of syllables? Well, gravitas has 3 syllables, constantia 4, magnitudo has 4, probitas 3, fides 2, and virtus has 2. So there's a potential pattern to be discerned there, 3-4-4, 3-2-2, and this creates the rhythm of Cicero's oratory. But it's interrupted by excellens, as you can see, which is an adjective modifying virtus. Notice as well that there is a variety of other kinds. First we have tanta gravitas, AB, adjective noun, and then we have tanta constantia, AB, adjective noun, but then we don't have tanta here. Instead we have noun with another noun in the genitive. Then we have nominative, nominative, and then just to make it somewhat more variable, the quae is repeated here, that is the interrogative adjective. So quae here is an interrogative adjective. It's asking a question. That's why we have the question mark down here. And it's modifying each one of these nouns, gravitas, constantia, etc. So what virtue, virtus, was so excellent, tam excellens, so outstanding, in every category, omni genera, neuter, singular, and ablative, third declension, in ullis, in any persons. So I'm taking ullis as masculine plural and ablative, referring to those other nations to which Cicero is comparing his ancestors. Now, after all that, after the tanta, tanta, tam, then with ut sit, we get the result clause. In other words, to put it in Latin, the enuntiatum, that means clause, consecutivum, the result clause, the pure consecutive clause, as Gildersleeve refers to them, the enuntiatum consecutivum. So great, such that, sit comparanda, it ought to be compared, it ought to be likened. Comparanda, feminine, singular, and nominative as the subject of sit, and referring back to virtus and all of these other abstract feminine singular nouns. Now, comparanda is also a gerundive, and when it is used with sit, that is, it's a verbal adjective, it's called a passive periphrastic, connoting necessity or obligation, so great that it ought to be compared, sit comparanda, with our ancestors in maioribus nostris, masculine plural, and ablative. Thank you so much for watching this free video. I hope that you learned a lot about the classical languages and advanced your knowledge and enjoyment. You can help us keep going with this instruction if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've had hundreds of thousands of views in the last 9 years, and we would really like to grow our number of subscribers. If you hit the little bell, you will be notified every time we release a brand new free instructional video. You can also check out one of my Latin or Greek courses at LatinPerDiem.com if you'd like to study Latin and Greek with me directly. So keep learning, and vale tote omnes.